Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for April and my reading plans like never before. There are two readathons that are happening that are my favorite readathons ever, and I'm so excited that they're finally here. The first one is the Magical Readathon, which is all month long for April. So excited. And then Tome Topple is back, round 16, and I'm beyond excited. I say this always, but I feel like I always gotta say it, especially if there's like new subscribers and stuff. Tome Topple was the first readathon that I ever participated in, which is kind of weird to say because Tome Topple is all about reading tomes, which are basically books that are 500 pages or more. So like, why would I choose Tome Topple as my first readathon and like put all that on me? I don't know. But I loved it, and the first go round I completed it all and I was so happy with myself. Tome Topple is usually 2 weeks long, so I tend to normally read 2 or 3 books. This year I'm not looking at the prompts for Tome Topple just because I have 3 specific books that I want to read for Tome Topple, and if they match some of the prompts, fine. If they don't, that's fine too. These are just the 3 books that I am hoping to read for Tome Topple. So, and she's doing it different this time as well. Instead of doing a bingo card, which is usually how we do our prompts, she just picked 20 prompts, and then you either like roll a die or whatever to figure out what prompts you're gonna read. But like I said, I'm not gonna focus on the prompts themselves, just these 3 books. So let's jump into the books that I want to read for April. I have 3 books that are not going to be part of the readathons, even though the Magical Readathon does run all month long, but these 3 books I couldn't fit them anywhere in the prompts or whatever prompts I had to read. I still have to look through all the rules and stuff because G did add a few more things like points and things like that. So I don't know if there's any prompts on that part of the readathon, but as far as my syllabus goes for my classes, if you guys don't know what the Magical Readathon is, it was a readathon based on Harry Potter, but G has changed it all up for this year. She created a whole new world, but it basically runs the same way. We have to attend a magical school and we have levels and classes and a syllabus, and based on what career we choose, that's how we know what our prompts are, and it's basically our syllabus, like the classes that we have to take, and each class is a specific prompt. So there are 7 prompts for my specific career, and so like I said, I could not find what prompts these books would fit. So I just have them on my TBR, but they're not going to be towards any of the 2 readathons. The first book that I will be reading is actually for the book troupe that is hosted by Gabby Reads. I'm actually going to be one of the co-hosts for April. There's going to be 3. I'm going to be one of them alongside McKay and Katie, and so I'm super excited, and we're reading 9 Lives by Peter Swanson. So I haven't been hearing the greatest of reviews for this book, so I'm a little bit nervous, but either way I am super excited to be co-hosting the book troupe once again, so I'm just excited to read the book because of that. The next book on my TBR is going to be Manhunt, and this is actually going to be the Stacks of Strange book club pick for April, so if you would like to join us, this is going to be the book. All I know about this book is that it's a post-apocalyptic book. We have trans women and trans men, and somehow they are fighting for survival. So I'm excited to read this one, and I'm super excited to discuss it with everyone in the live show. We usually have all the information from when our live show is going to be over on the Instagram page, which I will always have linked in the description box down below. Another book that really doesn't fit any of the prompts, but I would like to fit it in because it's a book that I just recently bought on a whim on Amazon, and I would like to read it because I would like to keep up with the books that I buy, but I'm not doing a good job, but that's okay. And that is Premeditated Myrtle. It's a Myrtle Hardcastle mystery book, and I believe it's the first book in the series. I don't know. I saw this cover and I thought it was just so cute and it just called out to me. I'm like trying to get back into middle grade. I read a middle grade last month, which I absolutely adored, and so that got me like back wanting to read some middle grade, and so this just stood out to me and I ordered it. I would love to read this one in April. Now jumping into the books for the readathon. We will look at all the books that I want to read for Tome Topple at the end. Right now we're focusing on the magical readathon. I'm not going to talk about prompts or anything. I'm just going to show you the books that I'm going to read. First one is Campfire Macabre. This is a collection of short stories, and one of my prompts is to read short stories, so that's why I chose this. I know I said I was going to talk about prompts, but that's why I have this on my TBR. Usually I don't have short story collections on my TBR, although I'm reading one right now that I am fully obsessed with, and I think it's going to be a 5 stars, which would probably be the second time ever that I give a collection of short stories 5 stars. Anyways, I'm looking forward to this one, the campfire vibes. It's giving me fall vibes, but for some reason I just want to read it now, and I'm super excited. My friend John has a story in here, which is why I initially bought this short story collection, was to read his story, and I never got to it, so I might be starting with his, but I'm just looking forward to this one, and the cover is amazing. Then I am also going to read Descent by Tim Johnston. I have had this on my shelves for a little bit. I've heard that this is an amazing book. This has to do with the Rocky Mountains and these siblings going out for a run. One day they're on vacation and only one of them returns back to the campsite or the room or wherever they're staying. He's the only one that returns. So I guess we're trying to learn what happened to the sister, because I think the brother is the one that comes back. But I'm excited. Again, I've heard nothing but amazing things about this. When I was researching the prompt that I'm using this book for, I had a really hard time coming up with this book until I finally hit Reddit, and I mean everybody was raving about this one, so I'm super excited to read this one finally. Scritch Scratch by Lindsay Curry. I told you guys I am on a middle grade kick right now, and here we are. I actually got this book sent for review, I don't know if it was last year, but some time ago, and I've been dying to read it ever since. This is a middle grade horror novel, and I can't wait to see what it's all about. It's been calling my name, and I think it is time. This has to do with this scientist, and she doesn't believe in like ghost stories or in the paranormal, but one day she has to help her dad, at work, which he does those ghost tour bus tour thingies, and so she has to help him, and she's dreading it, and she sees this little boy with like a sad face, and it kind of like intrigues her, but then at the end of the tour he's not there anymore, and apparently this little boy is haunting her. So I just think it's gonna be a great old time. These 2 books technically could be for Tome Topple, but since I already have 3 books for those 2 weeks, I think I'm just gonna read these during the beginning of the month. But one of my prompts in the magical readathon is to read a book that is set in the future. Being on live sprints with Deja last week, we were talking about these books, and I've been really wanting to pick it up because she's like, you need to pick up book 2, because I have read book 1, but I read book 1 so long ago that I think I need to reread it, and I loved this book so much that I want to reread it because there are scenes in here that just I loved and really creeped me out. I'm talking about the Illuminae files, Illuminae book 1. This is the one I read, obviously. And I read this about 5 years ago, I want to say, and so I'm ready for a reread. And these books read so quick, or at least this one reads so quick, that I think I'll be able to sneak it into the magical readathon without having it spill over onto Tome Topple. If it spills over onto Tome Topple, I don't think I will read it. And I will have to find another book for that prompt. But this is a book that is like mixed media, and it has like a lot of pages that are like just emails or letters back and forth. They read so quickly that I think I'll be able to do it. There's parts where are like blacked out because they're like private information or like classified information. I just loved this book so much that I want to reread it. Deja says that this is even better than book 1, which I can't see how, but in order to get to this book, I would really love to reread this. I remember a lot about this book even 5 years later, so I technically don't have to reread this, but I really do want to experience this again. In short, this is about these two rival companies that are after this one like planet. Is it a planet? Yeah, it's a planet that has this stuff that they want, and so the company send like this spaceship because this planet is like on the edge of the universe or some crap like that, and they don't warn the people that are living there, and they just go and start attacking them, and then it's just a rivalry between these two companies and their spaceships, and it is just amazing. I love the characters, I love the storyline in this one, and there are some dark parts in this book. If you haven't read this one, this is YA, but it is good. It is heart pounding at times. And so I'm hoping to get to these two for the Magical Readathon. The Horror in 24 book club pick for April is Flowers in the Attic. And I cannot believe that I'm finally reading this book. I've been wanting to read it for ages, but for some reason I'm just like hesitating to, because I think that this book is going to wreck me. Well, it's finally time to do it, and it's gonna be part of my Magical Readathon, but it is also part of Horror in 24. We will be having a live show for this one as well, as we always do for Stacks of Strange and Horror in 24. And again, all of that information for Horror in 24 is going to be on the Horror in 24 IG page. I'm just super eager to finally read Flowers in the Attic, although I'm still a little bit hesitant. And I don't know why. I want to read Radiance. I can't remember who the author is, but you guys see the book right here. I always hear Riley Marie talk about this book, and every time she talks about it, or when she spoke about it, it just made me want to read it. And I think another person that talks about it is Bree from In Love and Words. And just every time that I hear this book come up, I want to read it. So one of my prompts is to read a book that has romance in it, and this is what I chose. I think this is all about romance. It's not just has romance in it, which I was trying to find a fantasy book with a romance in it, which is super easy to do, but nothing was calling out to me from my shelves, so this is what I'm gonna read. And you guessed it, I'm super excited. And then I also want to read A Touch of Darkness. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling, if I'm not mistaken. I heard that it is amazing, and this cover has always called out to me, and I want to read it. I have not read the synopsis for this one, and I want to keep it that way, but again, it's a Hades and Persephone retelling, which I'm always here for some kind of mythology retelling. All right, and the last 3 books are my Tome Topple books. Oh my gosh, like I just want to jump up and dance and scream, because I've been like stalking Sam's YouTube channel, like just wishing that one day it will pop up, and I get a notification on Twitter that she announces it, that her video is up, and I almost cried.
I'm such a dork.
Okay, so the 3 books that I want to read for Tome Topple, again, I'm not paying attention to prompts. These are just what I want to read and what I need to read. First one, Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. Oh my gosh, like I've been wanting to pick up this book since it came out, since I got it in my little grubby hands. My friend Meg actually sent it to me as a gift, so thank you so much, Megan. Oh my gosh, I'm like obsessed. But this is a story about vampires, a novel, a fantasy, dark fantasy novel about vampires, and it is illustrated and it's just stunning, and I don't know a lot about it other than it's vampires. At least I hope that it's vampires, because it has vampires on the title. And I also want to finally read Leviathan Wakes. Like I can't believe the time is finally here for me to crack this book open. I'm beyond excited. Humanity has colonized the solar system, Mars, the moon, the asteroid belt, and beyond, but the stars are still out of our reach. Jim Holden is XO of an ice miner making runs from the rings of Saturn to the mining stations of the belt. When he and his crew stumble upon a derelict ship, the Scopuli, they find themselves in possession of a secret they never wanted, a secret that someone is willing to kill for, and kill on a scale unfathomable to Jim and his crew. War is brewing in the system unless he can find out who left the ship and why. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this series, the Expand series, which is what this is. I want to watch the show so bad, but I'm one of those people that have to read before watching, and I know it's going to be quite a journey. I talk about this series in the series that I would love to start in 2022. If you have not seen that video, I will link it up above. But it's finally time, you guys. And if you have read this, let me know how much you love it in the comment section. No spoilers, please. And then the last and final book is actually on its way to me, and it is Dreams of the Dying. I have heard Brittany talk about this book so much, and she recommends it. She loves it. And when she spoke about the synopsis, it just sounded right up my alley. It sounded like a very dark fantasy, and hello, I'm Marcy and I love dark books. So this just really called out to me. I don't want to know too much about it, and I honestly can't remember what she says about this book or the plot of this book because I heard about it, I think it was a couple months ago, where she mentions it in one of her videos, and she spoke about it again afterwards, but very briefly. So I want to go into this book really blind, although I don't know if that's the best idea because it is such a chunker of a book and it is a fantasy book. So I don't know if that's very bright of me, but either way, this is the cover and it's just amazing and I can't wait to read it. Yeah, surprise. Those are all the books that I want to read in April. Those are the books that I want to read in April. I'm hoping to vlog Tome Topple, and we'll see if I vlog a little bit of the Magical Readathon because, like I said, the Magical Readathon is all month long, so I don't know that I want to vlog all month long.
And I don't know who would want me to vlog all month long.
Because bore fest and a half, okay? But let me know what your reading plans are for April. Are you participating in either of these readathons, or is there another readathon that I don't know about that you're participating in? Which I don't think that's smart to be asking because I don't need another readathon. Like, when was it? This month, March, where I had like 5 readathons that I was participating in. I don't need any more, but let me know if you're participating in anything else and what books you plan on reading for the month of April. Let's chat books in the comment section down below. If you're interested in any of the books that I talked about in this video, they will be linked down below. They are affiliate links though, just thought I'd let you know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!